lads, so today we have a returning banner that will be releasing in less than 12 hours time, Untold Stories Round 6. In this case, it's Gin and Mayuri's first return from their initial release around 3 or so months ago, but is the banner actually worth summoning on? Well, let's talk about it. For starters, of course, I have to mention it, 8th anniversary is literally less than 2 weeks away. Lucky for us though, as you can see here, the banner itself will be available until the 24th of July. What this does mean is that while this banner is out, we will find out what the anniversary characters are, July 18th, we will find out the entire banner itself around July 22nd, and the banner will be out for a whole day while this banner is still here, July 23rd. So whether or not you should summon on this banner if you even want the characters, I don't recommend doing more than 2 steps until we have the anniversary banner fully revealed. Again, the worst thing you can do right now is spend all your orbs before the 8th anniversary just in case it really is a good banner, or if you just really want the characters that will be featured in part 1. So do keep that in mind. Maybe it's worth doing the discounts right now, but going past step 2, I recommend waiting until the 23rd of July because this banner will still be out. You could summon on the 8th anniversary, get really lucky, maybe in a small amount of orbs, have leftover orbs to then go on this particular banner, for example. That's what I'd recommend most will do if you are potentially tempted to summon on this particular banner. And since we are talking about upcoming banners, I guess it's also worth mentioning the renewed version of Aaroniero is now officially getting a Brave Fest banner, and that should be happening within the next 2 or so weeks. So if you are someone that is still trying to go for that Aaroniero, he will be in that particular banner and he will be guaranteed on step 20. Since he's also getting a Brave Fest banner, it's safe to assume that the renewed version of Quincy Ichigo will also get one in the following months. Having a look at the actual banner though, first up we have Gin, a really good IT farmer. He's a great character to use, he has a good set of strong attacks, a beam SA1, distant AoE into a tracking vortex SA2, really good for a farming character by the way, must say, and a full screen SA3. Given that he has a good kit and also a good damage output of Frenzy +2 and also more damage to poison enemies, which he has a very easy time inflicting since he does have an increased chance to do so against any speed attribute enemy. Given the fact that he also does have Frenzy +2, this character is constantly inflicting stat elements, in this case poison, and therefore allowing him to do significantly more damage. That's also really good because again this character wants to be used in Inheritance Trials, and one of the ways you get around the Iron Skin ability is either 1 having Pierce Iron Skin or having an increased chance to inflict stat elements. In my opinion, he's my go-to farmer, really enjoy his gameplay. However, it is worth mentioning there will be 1 month in any given 6 months where the character is unusable due to the fact that the enemies might be immune to poison. So do keep that in mind. But again, for those that aren't already aware, he is also a farming character, so by using him, you're getting 5 additional links or potions and also 5 additional super links or potions. A great farmer, the best in the technique attribute in my opinion. But I do want to also preface that he very likely will get outclassed in the future, as we are now starting to see other attributes get a character like Tensa Zangetsu. Tensa is really broken in Inheritance Trials. That's mainly due to his damage output, strong attacks, but most importantly, the fact that he can go through Iron Skin. We saw a very similar character released less than 2 weeks ago for the Heart attribute, and it's very likely, at least within the next few or so months, we are going to get another character like that for the technique attribute, therefore being a significantly better farmer. So Gin is a great character, a great farmer too. But if you're only pulling for him because he's a farmer, you might want to wait for the next better character that potentially could be out in the next month or 2. As for Mayuri, he's a pretty solid character. He's a power sniper captain with the Aaroniero kill ability. His main gimmick is his soul bomb damage. He has a really good soul bomb nuke. It's thanks to his weakened defense, 80% more damage to enemies afflicted by a stat element, bombardment, so his soul bomb does hit 8 times, and the fact that when you do inflict a stat element, you get an 80% stat boost to your spiritual pressure stat. His soul bomb can hit ridiculously hard, and that allows him to be used in the Aaroniero melee or range guild quest week to get a really fast clear time. However, if you are someone that has invested into 7th anniversary Ichigo, maybe you have him 5-5, then you don't really need this particular Mayuri. Mayuri is a better nuker, but he is also limited, so the nuker you're going to use, Ichigo or Mayuri, will ultimately come down to who you have more dupes of, and you're very likely to get more dupes of Ichigo over this particular Mayuri. But even outside of Guild Quest nuking, which is definitely his strong suit, he's overall still a very solid character. Again, good damage output with the SP boost, high berserker value, and also more damage to enemies that you do inflict with poison and also paralysis. And this character technically has an easy time inflicting stat elements, mainly due to his very unique SA3. It's a trap strong attack. Upon using the SA3, you will place a trap on the floor, and if any enemy walks into it, there's a very high chance they're going to get hit by that particular stat element. That would then allow you to do more damage, get the SP boost, and also just keep them in place. It's really good for when bosses spawn in, because it pretty much guarantees they're going to be paralyzed, allowing you to get free damage output. Again, a solid character, mainly used for his guild quest potential, but again, if you have 7th anniversary Ichigo duped out, you technically don't need him in that particular regard. The next character is Beyond Bankai Yoruichi. In her case, once more a very solid character, good set of strong attacks, the best Yoruichi in the game, by the way. In her case, she has an increased chance to inflict stat ailments, which is important because she can inflict weakening on every single attack, and when you do inflict a stat ailment, you get an 80% stat boost to your spiritual pressure stat. So she has an easy time inflicting weakening, allowing her to do more damage, and that allows her to get through content like Inheritance Trials a lot easier. Given the fact that she's Yoruichi, she's a very fast character, she has some nice added survivability with a team heal, and also element reversal. Overall, just a very solid heart character, and if you are looking to have fun with a Yoruichi character, she is the best Yoruichi in the game for that particular aspect. And of course, because Yoruichi's in the banner, that means Soifon is following along. In this case, the Beyond Bankai version of Soifon is a pretty good character, but I will say you're going to find a hard place to use her, mainly given the fact that she is a merely normal attack damage character. She's one of the better ones out there, but I find myself very rarely ever using her. I think her main usage is going to be in the merely no affiliation guild quest week, because she does have a high damage output, she can apply paralysis and also poison, but at the same time her SA2 is actually a boost and barrier move, providing your team with a 33% attack, focus and defense increase, while also giving them a +3 shield for them and a +5 shield for yourself. Again, one of the better melee knight characters, but she is a melee non-attack damage character, so she is held back by the lack of range, and I guess usability outside of Senkamon and also guild quests. Kisuke, solid SP character, in his case, good SA2 with a good SA3, SA2 being the best in the entire game, provides some good crowd control and potentially will inflict a stat ailment, where he will then get an 80% stat boost to his spiritual pressure stat. He's immune to every stat ailment, has a somewhat weak SA1, and does have a self-heal every time you move to another map. Overall, solid Kisuke, probably the best one in the game, fun to use character if you like Kisuke. Same can be said for Shinji. In his case, he wants to be at full stamina, as that's where he gets most of his damage output. He himself is a minded Ranka killer, so ideally you only want to use him against heart attribute Rankas, and that's what he's good at. Again, nothing super amazing, a great character nonetheless. Whether you use him ultimately comes down to you, but he does have a really cool design. Shinji fans are absolutely eating in this particular banner because the next character is Fueled Shinji, his Bankai version. Good set of strong attacks, unfortunately is lacking on the damage output. He did after all come out around 3 or so years ago, so that's kind of expected, but if you do get dupes of him, he can be good. Might be good one day in Limit Breaker quests, but if you are looking just to have fun with a Bankai Shinji, then this character might be fun to pick up just for having fun. Speaking of fun, this character is definitely fun. We have Khan for your own world, Tokenada, still one of the more sought after characters in the game, and it's understandable. An amazing voice actor, an amazing set of visuals, probably still some of the best visuals in the entire game, and that's mainly due to the fact that he can transform with his Soul Bomb, where he then starts to use other Soripa's abilities. With a boost SA2, he makes up for a good Nad character, and he's aged quite well, mainly due to the fact that normal attack damage characters haven't evolved that much over the years, so he's still a perfectly usable character, and I actually used him quite a lot in the Limit Breaker quest. As for Halibel, same thing with Shinji, overall just a good character. Lacking a bit on the damage output, will be a tad bit slower, but can make for some usage in Senkamon content, and maybe if you just want to have a bit of fun with her in the tournament, for example. Overall, I think it's a solid banner. Nothing super amazing, but there's definitely some value here, especially because it does consist of 6 Beyond Bankai characters. Eventually, there will come a time where the entire filler pool of a Spirit Arth Ruin banner will consist of only Beyond Bankai characters. The main 2 characters that you should be going for is of course Gin and also Mayuri. Gin for the farming purposes in IT and also IZ. Mayuri for his guild quest potential in the Amelia and Ranger Raga guild quests. Whether you want them comes down to you, but regardless if that answer is a yes or a no, I would still suggest waiting until the 23rd when the anniversary does officially start, because this banner will be still available for 24 more hours. Speaking of the banner, it's a normal step up model, so step 1, 6, 11, 16 and 21 will be discounted at 150 orbs. Step 2, 7, 12, 17 and 22 we discounted at 200 orbs. And of course, every 5th step does guarantee you a featured character. So in the comments below, let me know if you are summoning on this banner. For me, it's going to be a very easy skip. Despite me actually summoning for these characters 3 months ago and not getting a single one on my main account, I just ultimately don't need them right now. For Gin, he's a great farmer, but I'm not like the biggest Gin fan, so I'm just going to wait for the next better farmer that might release in the next 2 or so months. For Mayuri, he's a great nuker, but I'm most likely going to get 7th anniversary Ichigo Max Transcended on the upcoming 8th anniversary banner. Having said that though, I do have both of these characters on my alt account. I use Mayuri to nuke in guild quests, and I actively farm with Gin on my friend's account and also alt account. So they definitely still have some value, but it ultimately comes down to you if you're going to use them, and if you even want them to begin with. But with that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time, take care, and peace.